So welcome again. And I love that picture, the dog and cat. We are in this together. Every day's a new day. We also have COVID-19 updates on our website. If you haven't visited, you can go there. And we're providing information there on what is happening with the organization and our operations on the website. So what I want to tell you a little bit about is, animal shelters they're used to dealing, we're very used to dealing with community challenges. We have to be flexible because everything changes on a dime with our work. We're good at disease control and we rely on community collaboration. So I think we were positioned in a place where we could respond to this and collectively figure out the best way to move forward. But we have been and continue to be in constant communication with national organizations and veterinary schools for up-to-date recommendations on how to keep the staff, the community, and the animals safe during the crisis, and balance that with still serving the animals and people with pets in the Charlotte region to our best of our ability. The good news is that we're not in this alone. We partner closely with our city shelter, and we have 19 regional shelters we have transfer relationships with, and these shelters are all open and mission shelters, and they're still receiving animals. They don't have a lot of options available to them, so we have been continuing over the past 2 weeks to assist them with as much as possible. We're in daily communications with Josh Fisher, who's the director of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Animal Care and Control Agency. For status updates, we do a daily call with them, and we're coordinating our operational plans with them as information becomes available every day to us. So with adoptions, this is what we've been doing over the past week. We've implemented social distancing measures for our staff and the public. One of the biggest ways that we've done that is we have converted all of our whole adoption process to remote. So people can make an application online, they have the counseling over the phone, and they have been able to pick up animals from the shelter after that counseling is done. So we have been able to do that for the past 2 weeks. We're also still doing owner surrender by appointment. And a lot of that work has to do with just having conversations with the people and trying to figure out why they're giving up their pets, and mitigating that situation, trying to help keep those pets in the home. One of the other things that we encourage everybody to do is have a plan for their pets in case they become ill and have to be hospitalized, or in case of financial issues that may arise in the near future because of loss of income. To definitely have a plan. Who's going to take care of your pet? Do you have enough pet food on hand? What kind of veterinary needs will you have? If there's an emergency veterinary need, where will you go? Try to prepare ahead of time and know that information to help you and your pets get through this pandemic. So clinic services we have had to adjust our operations pretty significantly in clinic services. We have suspended our Critter Care Wellness Clinic. For those of you that don't know how that operates, that's a walk-in wellness that we do for 4 hours every week. And the good news is that it's a great service that we provide to the community. The bad news is, in our current facility, we don't have a lot of room to do that. So we have over 100 people waiting together in a parking lot. So we said, okay, that's not going to work. So we have suspended the clinics at least through the stay-at-home order. We've also suspended public pet spay and neuter surgeries. So we are doing, up until, as of now, we are continuing to do pre-adoption spay-neuter, and we've been doing some TNR spay-neuter. But we've limited those surgeries significantly. We're doing 2 to 3 days a week. We've been last week, and we feel that's really important to help the city shelter. So we have continued that. With the stay-at-home order, we are reevaluating all of our services to see what's appropriate for us to move into the next week. So I mentioned early on the call, everything's minute by minute, and information shifts, and we try to take that in real time and make plans accordingly. Our trap neuter return program has been temporarily suspended. So people that are out in the community trapping cats, we've asked them to not bring them into the clinic for surgery. And we'll resume that, of course, as soon as we can. So our community outreach and volunteers have also been impacted. We have behavior and training classes scheduled, and we do those for the public. They're at a very inexpensive cost, and we help people with basic obedience and certain behavior issues. We will announce those class dates as soon as we're able to resume that. One of the things that we had been looking at is doing some virtual support over the phone, so people could still talk with our trainer on issues that they were having. Again, a lot of that is to keep those pets in the home. We believe that's really critical at this time. The human and animal bond is so strong and so significant. And I think now is the time that people really need to try to keep their pets with them and keep their family intact. Our humane education program has been impacted. We have suspended doing in-classroom visits. Obviously, the schools aren't open, and tours, but we are still taking reservations for birthday parties, classroom visits, birthday parties and classroom visits, and we're taking reservations for those to start tentatively in June. We are temporarily not accepting any new volunteers until the end of April. Our existing volunteers are still able to help at this time in a limited capacity. Again, we're trying to reduce the number of people that are coming into the shelter. So that's being handled by our volunteer coordinator, making sure that the community is still safe, our volunteers are safe, our staff are safe, but there are opportunities still for people to help in a limited capacity. I mean, if you think about it, we still have animals on property, so we still need support in helping taking care of them. So this is what we're still accomplishing. Like I mentioned earlier, we've been working with our transfer partners around the region who are still receiving animals every day to help them with transfers. We've been still bringing animals into our shelter. One of the reasons this is so critical is because of their open admission shelters, and they really cannot control their intake numbers. So we have tried to assist them the best way that we can. So far, we've received 210 animals this month and have approximately 120 animals currently in our care. When I say in our care, I mean not only just in the shelter, but our foster homes have been just amazing during this and have come out in full force to try to support us and help provide temporary. Is that showing up on there? Sorry, you guys, I just had a pop up.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Keep going.
Gotcha. Just to provide some temporary relief for the shelter and for those animals during this time. And the adoptions by appointment have been extremely successful. Since March 18th, we have done 100 adoptions remotely. And I know that you've probably heard in the news, people are encouraging people to adopt from shelters. Shelters are trying to reduce their in-shelter populations and still try to get these animals out into the community. All right, well, as I mentioned, we are still caring for animals, and lots of them have special needs. As you all know, one of the great resources that we can provide to government shelters that take in every animal is that we have resources available to support animals that have medical needs that we can rehabilitate and then find a positive outcome and a great home for them in the end. So our Have a Heart animals are currently being treated for medical issues, and this is just a list of who we have right now in our care. So this is definitely still a need. And if you want to support that, there's you can go to our website and make a gift specifically for that. So humane education, I mentioned that we had suspended classroom visits, but we've tried to provide some opportunities for people that are quarantining at home, stay at home with their kids, because we know how stressful that might be. So we have added on our website humane education at home activities. So if you haven't seen that and you've got kids at home, please check it out or share with people that have children and are looking for things for them to do while they're at home. We also launched Story Time with Shelly and the shelter animals. That's not me, Shelly, that's our other Shelly. And you can see her there in the picture with one of our shelter dogs. And she is every Friday reading a story to kids and a shelter pet. So last week was great. I don't know if anybody saw it. I think the video is still on our Facebook, so you can see it. Yep, it says it's been viewed over 2,400 times. It's amazing. It's also been picked up by Charlotte 5 and the Charlotte Parent Magazine, who want to do a follow-up story on this once we get through this crisis. Episodes are going to air weekly on Facebook at 2 p.m. on Fridays. I'm pretty sure it's Fridays. It doesn't specifically say, but I think it's Fridays. And we've recorded 5 total episodes, and 7 more are on deck to be recorded soon. So we will continue to do this after we go back to full operations, but this is just a way that we wanted to engage children and their family now during this time. So our pet food bank is probably one of the most critical things that we can provide during this time where families are not knowing what's going to happen with their livelihoods and their income. We already have about 200 clients that we serve regularly with our food bank, and we have still been able to support our clients, but we're doing it a little differently. So just like the critter care that we did every Wednesday at the shelter where people gather in the parking lot for low-cost veterinary care, every other Saturday we have our clients come to the parking lot to pick up pet food that they need for their pet. We decided to shift that. We still wanted to be able to provide that service to the community. So we decided to shift that to deliveries. So last week we did our first delivery, and we delivered 921 pounds of food to 47 citizens in need. So clearly there's a demand. We anticipate there's going to be a greater demand as we move through this, but we are planning to do our next delivery on April 4th to our existing clients. All right, Petpalooza. So for those of you that have been our longtime supporters, volunteers, staff, you know this is our biggest fundraiser of the year, and it just happens to fall on April 25th, which we have about 4,000 people come to that event, and clearly that's a mass gathering. So we have had to reconsider what we're going to do with that event. The money that we raise from it is critical to our work, so we still wanted to find a way that we could do something to support our work and the organization and do it in a way that's safe for the community and safe for all the people participating. So we are doing a virtual walk this year, and it's called Petpalooza Rerouted. The shirts are great, by the way. I saw them yesterday. And this will be a virtual fundraising walk. And we already have our vendors signed up for the event. And for those of you that have been to it before, you know it's a large vendor event. So we are working on developing an online vendor fair, and you'll be able to access that online. Those that are registered to walk, we're going to encourage them to take a 1-mile walk the morning of the 25th with their animal and share photos of that on social media. And then our staff is going to go live on Facebook for a walk with some of our adoptable animals during that time. So if you'd like detailed information or more information, or to register or to support the event, visit us at petpaloozacharlotte.org. All right, well, that is really the main ways that we've had to alter the operations in the organization over the past 2 weeks. We've got reduced income from our core services and events, and because of that, we're forced to look at reducing scopes of activities that directly impact the work that we do for the animals in the community that we're trying to help. And that's why we need you to continue to support us during this time. We know it's difficult, but there are many ways that you can do that, and that you can still help the animals during this time of crisis. We just need people to spread the word that we're still out there. Follow us on Facebook, our website, so they know what services that we're still able to provide. But we're committed to trying to do the best that we can during this time and make good, sound decisions in how we operate. So we will update people there. Make a financial donation. Visit our website, mail a check, make a gift through your donor advised fund. No amount is too small, and it will be put to great use We rely on individual donors to fund our work. We don't receive federal, state, or local government support on a regular basis, and we're unsure if we'll receive any assistance from the relief package that's being voted on now. However, we are investigating that, and we will take advantage of what opportunities we can to in this time until we can get back to normal operating. The other thing that you can do is register for Pet Palooza Rerouted. It's virtual, so you don't have to worry about being exposed to 4,000 people. And again, if you want more information on the event, you can visit petpaloozacharlotte.org and find out how you can still participate.